Welcome to the Forticode cybersecurity podcast and vlog. As a very interested cybersecurity onlooker, I remember the days when locking your front door was the most effective type of security. Those days are gone. Today, your door may be shut, the door may be locked, security guard at the ready. But in the digital environment, is your business really safe? The answer is maybe, but is maybe good enough? Well, the short answer is no. My name is Farah Sobey and I'm here today talking with Tony Smales, founder and CEO of Forticode, creators of the most revolutionary product in cybersecurity, Cypherize. Firstly, can you tell us a bit about mandatory disclosure?
Sure. A mandatory disclosure is a legislative requirement that's been put down by the Australian government. It's designed to cause organisations to report a breach of information, whether it be an internal breach against employees or against customer information. The goal of the legislation is so that when a breach occurs, the individual, if it's of a serious nature, will actually be notified that a breach has occurred, and the organisation has obligations, legal and also corporate, to rectify the situation that caused the breach in the first place. The grey area is the definition of a serious breach. The decision that's been made is that if the breach impacts the person directly, so it's a piece of personal information, i.e. your address, a tax file number, a bank account, then that has serious implications back to the individual. So that is where a data breach notification must occur.
Right, and what are the costs to business, and do we know any hard facts on this?
The costs are multiple. So in a reputation sense, if in an industry such as insurance, you will actually get a situation where a breach against one provider will give opportunity to other providers to steal market share in traditionally very difficult to leverage customers to go across from one provider to another. There will be financial implications. So a particular breach can have a $300,000 implication or a $1.8 million implication, depending on the type of breach and how it came about. And then there's also the legislative process that will cause legal implications. One of the things that comes about on this is that cyber insurance, which currently protects and provides insurance back to organisations, that will become harder to attain, and what it will cover will start to get narrowed depending on the nature of breaches and the frequency.
Okay. So they say the best medicine is prevention. How can Cypherize prevent this ever being an issue?
Okay, so Cypherize is designed to allow people to take back control of the security information that allows them to access services. So the best example I can give is that your front door example is, at the moment, you'll hand out multiple keys to your house. So there might be 20 organisations that have the ability to provide information that you verify against that says, yes, I'm going to deal with the bank, I'm going to deal with the government, I'm going to deal with my employer. The goal of Cypherize is that we get rid of all of those copies of the keys and you end up with just one that you control personally, which means that no one can actually do anything on your behalf without you being involved.
Great. That's comforting to know. Can you characterise for us now exactly what a breach is?
So a breach is where a data leak event occurs. And a data leak is where someone sees information that is deemed private that they shouldn't have had access to, or an external party gains access to that data and either sees it or takes it away. So this could be as simple as my brother coming around to my house and seeing personal records on my work laptop. It could be I've left my laptop on a bus or a train and someone has now got access to that information. Or it could be from an actual systemic hacking attempt where someone has breached the security of the business and gained access to critical information.
Right, okay. Can you describe to us exactly what it would take to hack into someone's business, someone's life? How easy is it?
Okay, so hacking into someone's business or their life, on one hand it's quite difficult, on the other hand it's very easy. So in this day and age where everyone shares information quite prolifically through social media, most passwords, most credentials are replayed. So the same username and password that you'll use to sign up to Facebook is the same one you'll use for your bank account. So getting that information, if you can get it in one spot, you can use it in another spot. The other thing is that, again, people utilize safety nets. So if you forget your password, there's a mechanism that says, how do I get this back?
Yeah.
And often that involves a bunch of questions. The answer to those questions are generally things that you can socially engineer. So in order to actually get someone's account details. You can use electronic methods to lift them as they use them. You can use social engineering to get them totally 100% away from the person's knowledge point. And there's other ways, like a wrench will get someone's password very easily if you threaten them with
it. Now, what can you do to stop that?
The key things to stopping, I suppose, transference of credentials is to find a way to do it where the person themselves aren't put at risk and behave in a way that is safe without them knowing they're safe. So the example I give is if I said you were going to type your password and your password was 1234. If I watch you do that, then it's quite easy. Anyone can see your password's 1234. They saw your username as you typed it, and then I can be you anywhere around the world whenever I want to be. With the cipherized fabric, the way we work it is you never ever actually type 1234 in a way that allows someone to observe it. So the whole idea is the person behaves in a very safe manner without them realizing they're doing it, which means for psychology reasons, people always look for the easiest way to do something. So our goal is to make it so that you can do what you want, when you want, without ever being compromisable because you don't realize you're being safe.
Okay. And can you tell me what air gap is?
So air gap is the whole idea of, again, double glazed windows. By having surface 1, surface 2 with air in between it, it means that side can get as hot as you want, but this side will never feel the heat because of the air gap. In a digital sense, the whole idea of an air gap is to provide a space between systems so that when someone is trying to breach you or to get information off you, what they're actually seeing and dealing with is totally separate from where the real information and the real systems are under play. So again, in the cipherized world, the way we do that is by saying that rather than logging onto a system, the system logs on to you. So it actually reverses the equation, and the organization will reach out to say, are you wanting to do this? And only at that point do we say, prove that you have the rights to do so. And we don't do that through a password. We do that through mathematics.
Okay, so that's keeping everyone safe.
Keeping everyone safe without them knowing it.
Yeah, great.
That's the joy.
That's the joy. Definition of the day, Tony, is multi-factor.
Yep.
Can you tell me what multi-factor means to you?
Yep, so multi-factor goes back literally to 50 years ago. If you actually went down to the bank, you performed a multi-factor transaction. You had a bank book and the person behind the counter knew you. So what they would do is they would see a visual reference of you. You would sign something. You had a bank book, so you had multiple factors: something that you had, something that you know, and something that you are. That's what occurred. When we went digital, we just converted the way we dealt with things without thinking about the implications of no longer being able to see the person during the transaction. So multi-factor means we're looking to prove something that you know, prove something that you are, and prove something that you have, totally out of sight. So multi-factor is that nature. So in the experiences that people have generally, it would be you might get an SMS from your bank when you go to do a transfer. That means you have to have the phone and you have to have already had known the username and password to get onto your bank account. So there's two factors.
Okay.
So multi-factor is every time you go to do something, don't trust just one thing, trust more than one thing. So with the cipherized fabric, our goal is to, at the very bare minimum, do 3 factors for everything that goes on. Again, without the user knowing they're doing it. So to them, it's a single factor experience.
At the end of the day, it's all for nothing if you let someone in. It may not be intentional, but the most devious hacker has the ability to walk through a door next to you, or even scarier still, walk through the door as you. It comes down to you, your staff, customers, colleagues. You can choose. You can work together. Choose to open the door or choose to leave it shut. The largest organisations are at risk. We hear of breaches every day into companies, enterprise, and even the government. But keep in mind, it is you who are most at risk, and it is you who will be most affected. You, your family, business, colleagues, friends. Thanks for listening to Forticode's Cybersecurity Show. Join the revolution at forticode.com. And a very special thank you to Tony for joining us today and sharing your wisdom and educating us more on Cypherize.
Thank you very much, Farah. It's been great being here.